Good afternoon, and welcome to the live this afternoon. This is day 25 of the Diddy trial. We are almost done with the prosecution side of this case. They said they may wrap up as early as tomorrow or by Friday morning. And then I think the defense said they could take up to 5 trial days and then they will be done. So we're getting there. We're getting really close to the end. Pardon me. I did not stream live while the trial was actually going on today, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I did not want to be bored out of my mind. We are still waiting for Brendan, the alleged drug mule, to take the stand. We've been waiting on him for 2 days now. So the expectation is that he will take the stand tomorrow. So we'll see. We're still waiting on him. In the interim, what we had to take place today was I think one or two agents, paralegals for the government who are still presenting information as summary witnesses. So these are folks who work for the government, who work to put together charts based off of information that is a part of the evidence for this trial, but not necessarily presented to the jury by the lawyers when they were actually going through the case. So that was a lot of what took place today. Another reason why I didn't stream live for that is because a lot of the information is redundant. And I mean redundant in the sense of yes, there's drugs. Yes, there are freak offs. Yes, there's DV. Yes, Diddy's assistants are helping him. His security is helping him. KK is all over the place. And where is KK? She needs her own separate video. Like, where is KK? Because prosecution is about to wrap up and they did not call her. So does that mean KK is going to be charged as a co-conspirator? What exactly is going on with KK? So there's that. Other things that happened this morning before the trial got started is that the person we're all waiting on, Brendan, he pleaded the fifth this morning, and of course, part of procedure, he signed his immunity agreement this morning. The judge was very upset with the prosecution and the defense because supposedly there was some article that was out in the press with information that was under seal. He said only the judge, he said only himself and the lawyers in the case knew about this information, and it should not have been out. So he basically said if it happens again, the person who's on point for either side will bear the consequences of it. And he may even do an investigation into that. What article? I don't know. I saw a few videos on it where people were trying to still figure that out, like what article. There's an assumption that whatever the article is, it probably has gotten taken down. But that's all I know about that at the moment. Again, more in this today's testimony. KK and D Rock helping to cover up stuff, helping to facilitate stuff. Just more of that. Again, redundancy stuff we've already heard. Some of the stuff that these paralegals or special agents are presenting, these text messages, the prosecution, the government side, when they present these, what they have charted are the text messages that, of course, all make Diddy sound like, you know, he 100%, he did this, he did that. They're showing that he's guilty of things, right? So the defense then crosses these representatives for the government, and they mention things that they did not chart that almost counters some of what they presented or the perception of what they presented. So a lot of that is like Cassie, pretty much begging for freak offs, and so there's a lot there. So that I thought was interesting. And so they spent this day really doing that. That's what they spent today doing. So what I thought I'd do today for this live, just to keep my streak going, is that instead of like how we normally do, we go verbatim with who said what based off of what somebody is reporting from inside the courtroom. I'm just gonna, at a very high level, go through what is on CNN for today, just so that we can document what did take place today, and we'll go from there. I'm sure I'll have some thoughts on some of this stuff. I've already looked at what was said in some of the testimony so that I can put together my Diddy trial gone wild videos. Please check those out on their channel. They're much shorter, of course, than these lives, but I've been trying to do that for each day where I do the lives. So again, thank you for stopping by my channel as well. Please give a thumbs up to this live. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. So let's just go ahead and jump into what happened today while we waited on Brendan, while we're still waiting on Brendan. All right, so just 1 second while I pull up the CNN feed. And some of this, like I said, I'm just not going to read everything necessarily verbatim, because if it's stuff we've already seen now a million times, it's no need for us to keep having to talk about it, right? All right, so the jury sees records for flight and hotel reservations made for an escort. That's something we've seen over and over and over again. We know Diddy made flights for the women. He made flights for the escorts. We are fully aware of that. Combs' hotel bill for Dave paid with 5 bank accounts. Let's see if anything in here is something new. Yes, he paid for it with his Amex card. We know about that. Hotel records show the reservation was made under the name of Combs' assistant Ellie Maroon, with KK Combs' former chief of staff listed as the contact. The card on file belonged to Combs. Okay, so again, let's see. The credit card statement with those charges was paid off by 5 different bank accounts, including some linked to Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprises. So maybe the government is trying to hammer that home to just say, see, he's using his business accounts for these things and he shouldn't. I don't think that's RICO, but let's keep moving. Jury sees records of hotel room damage fees Combs paid. We've been over that before. We are already aware. Let's see. I see some big numbers here, though. On the hotel in Beverly Hills, one hotel in Beverly Hills charged $500 for draping carpet damage. I think we read about that before, or they told us about that before. In October 2012, Combs American Express paid the Intercontinental New York Times Square $46,786 for penthouse damage. The name Frank Black was listed on the hotel portfolio. Now, I believe this $46,786 is connected to perhaps the incident at the Intercontinental Hotel when we the whole video with Cassie in front of the elevator. So I believe that's what that was for. I wish we had like an itemized bill for this $46,786, because did you do that amount of damage? He may have. Or maybe somebody just got paid. Either way, he had it. So he has the money. So whatever. Jury sees messages between Combs and contact called New York Strip. The jury saw messages between Diddy and the contact called New York Strip a couple of days before the December 2009 hotel stay. Combs texted repeatedly, trying to set up a time for a massage. Can you let me know if there's a problem so I have time to get her another present? So this is an escort. Okay. Later in the conversation, they both asked each other if they were cops. Wow. Okay. Photos show Ventura with swollen lip after 2016 Intercontinental altercation. Okay, this is the now infamous videotape that we are all aware of. Let's see if there's anything in here we don't know already. I don't think so. The fact that Diddy was trying to get her after making all these calls and stuff to her, we are already in the know about that as well. Okay. Let's see what's up next. Let's see. Combs repeatedly called, texted Cassie after 2016 hotel altercation. So we are aware of that. Like I said again, the government is just painfully taking us through things we already know. They've already presented this in court. Let's see. I'm just checking to see if there's anything in here that is news to us. To see Ventura. I went and checked everything and spoke to security. We were already seeing that. Call me now. Call me to call. Okay, we've seen that. The thing where Diddy was trying to say, so you're gonna abandon me all alone? Call me, please. We saw that earlier. Uh, Call me, call me, call me. I'm about to be arrested. Diddy was freaking out. I don't know if he was high or still or what. Combs called Cassie 5 more times in the next half hour, but none of the calls were answered. KK, where are you, KK? Diddy's former chief of staff also called Cassie once. Okay, so all of this stuff, you see what I'm saying? All of this stuff, all of this information has already been presented to us. It just feels like the government is just, I don't know. I don't know if they think they're doubling down on something that is significant and important. I don't know if that's what they're thinking, but if I was the jury, I would be so over them presenting this redundant information. Okay, timeline shows flurry of calls and texts after the 2016 altercation. Let's see. Cassie complained to KK that he won't stop calling her. D-Rock said to KK, tell him he needs to get out of there before the police come. Okay, again, more stuff that we already know. Let's see what we have next. Combs staff texted about damages in LAPD after hotel incident. Let's see. At 5:52 p.m., KK Combs' former chief of staff. I'm going to ask just to cover damages. He wants to speak to Spanish security guard. Okay. Say they had fun drunk night to try and get more info. LOL, no shot. They aren't playing nice. Combs and his former security guard, Damian Butler, who goes by D-Rock, each called Cassie several times with most. Okay, we already know that. We already know that. At 6:55, Carrie Morgan, a former friend of Ventura, we already know about that. She testified about that, about how she got the police to come over, but Cassie wasn't telling them anything. She took the police business card and sent it to Diddy, almost just trying to scare him, really. She was looking for anyone to say the wrong thing so she could call domestic abuse, Morgan wrote, later saying, Cass just asked me to send you that. Did you get security number? Okay, so they're also trying to get hold of the videotape. Okay, Combs texted D-Rock, how is she at 9:32 a.m.? He said she's okay. She's eating breakfast. Her face don't look bad. She's good. D-Rock wrote, he said Ventura was smiling and laughing and suggested Combs call her or call the house. These people. Okay, so next up. You see, this is why I did not stream while the trial was actually on, because out of all the things I've went over so far within these first 13 minutes, there's absolutely nothing that's news. I mean, it's all redundant stuff that the government is presenting. I wish I could just crawl in bed and stay there until I look better. Okay, so this is what records show messages between Cassie and others planning her fitting on March 6th. The timeline shows a photo, but she's wearing a gown and sunglasses. This was supposed to be a really exciting day for me. I wish I could just crawl into bed and stay there. The timeline shows a series of, so this is stuff we already know. The timeline also shows a photo of Garcia's license. We're already aware of that. When Diddy paid them the money for the tape, he got pictures of Eddie Garcia's license, as well as his two of the other security people that work with him. So let's see if there's anything new here. Let's see. On Cross of Special Agent, defense focuses on what's not included in government summary chart. Okay, now this part may be interesting. On cross-examination, defense attorney Garagos questioned Penland, a special agent with the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, on the list of individuals associated with meetings in the charts. She said there could have been other people present, but if I did not have the evidence, their name is not in the chart. It does not have the name. Okay, that part is okay. So what? Garagos read a series of messages between Diddy and Cassie from different points in time when Ventura wrote sexually explicit messages to Combs. And in one instance, she told him she's always ready to freak off. After reading each message, Garagos then asked the special agent to confirm if that message was included in the government summary chart. And I went through those, and the government would say, no, it wasn't. So in a lot of these, what happened during the testimony today, The government had a summary chart with text messages to present to the jury, and they conveniently left out text messages that would make it look like Cassie was consenting or on board requesting freak offs. They conveniently left those out. And so the defense, when they crossed, they pulled up, they asked the special agent about those. She had to admit that they were there, but they just did not include those in the summary chart. Now, if I were a juror, I would have a problem with that. If you didn't include any of those in the summary chart, and it would make me look side eye at what you're presenting to me because you intentionally did the information that you want me to take in and be used to like find him, help me find him guilty of these charges. You look less credible now. You would have looked more credible if you had included some of the ones where Cassie was begging for freak offs and stuff like that. Because now, for you to exclude that altogether, that would just make me not want to trust anything you presented to me within these summary charts. Let's see what else we have here. The defense reviews Ventura's freak off messages with Combs. Freak off or discusses planning. Okay, let's see. Complete messages. Penland has okay. Nothing much there, y'all. And I'm not gonna bore y'all with stuff that we have already heard. Okay. The jury watches videos from 2012 and 2014 showing Ventura during an alleged freak off. And from what I understood, they looked at a couple of these videos today. Let's see. The jury watched portions of a video they viewed yesterday, recorded on October 14th, 2012. Cassie Ventura previously testified that the video showed her and a man referred to as Dave during a freak off. They also watched portions of another video recorded on the same day. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there. The jury watched portions of another video that was recorded on October 20th, 2012. Ventura previously testified the video showed her and a man called Jules. So this is Dave and Jules on this day. They are now watching portions of videos that were recorded on December 4th. All of these videos are sealed because they're sexually explicit. Good, because we in the public do not need to see that. The current video clip the jury is viewing is almost 4 minutes long. At this point, the jury has watched more than 15 minutes of sexually explicit videos under the cross-examination of Penland, a special agent with the U.S. Okay. When the first video was played, some sound was audible in the courtroom, including what sounded like a woman's voice. A court security officer alerted the judge. At one point, 5 of the 6 jurors sitting in the same row had their chins resting on their hands at the same time. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Defense highlights text messages that show Combs and Cassie planning freak offs together. Planning them together. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in here that we have not heard already. In some messages, Cassie talks about planning the logistics for a freak off with Combs, sometimes saying she wants to have a freak off when Combs asks, and other times they exchange sexually explicit messages. In February 2013, Combs wrote, "Maybe one of those nights," and Ventura responds, "Yes," with extra S's. Garagos also reviewed other messages between Combs and Ventura that were sent shortly after some of the freak-offs listed in the summary chart. Sexy flashbacks of yesterday, Cassie said. And another message sent on Father's Day: "Thank you for always showing me love and happiness the way it's supposed to be. Can't wait until we have a baby of our own to celebrate Father's Day." Oh, Cassie. Oh, Cassie. Like I said, and I've said, okay, agent, she found no records of New Year's 2000. Okay, we don't we don't care. Defense done with cross-examination. Combs texted Ventura, "I'm so sorry," after the 2016 assault. Let's see. When you get okay, we already saw this. The government has already presented this to us. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. We've already heard that before. And judge dismisses the jury for the day. And that, my friends, within 20 minutes, I went through the testimony for the day, and none of what I just shared is new news. So I don't know what the government strategy is with kind of just dragging this stuff out, but it is just I don't get it. I just really don't get it. It's like, why are you stringing this out if you don't have anything more? And where is KK? Because this time could be used with us having KK up on the stand. So where is she? Instead of them having another whole day where they really just went through redundant information. That's all they did. And if I share briefly with y'all what some of the verbatims were, you see here where it says, what does Miss Ventura say here? She says, I hate that I don't use protection when I get high. I'm going to get tested. And Diddy responded, let's freak off now. And she said, okay, what hotel? Okay, here they're talking about drugs. And Cassie writes, I can't wait until we have a baby. Happy Father's Day. What do you want to do, baby? Okay, she writes, I promise I will be the nastier freak bee to make up for it. What does Miss Ventura say here? Can't buy Astro, it's too expensive. When should I take it? Where is it? What did she talk? What? And Mr. Combs replies, let's see. Cassie then wrote in another message, keep having sexy flashbacks of yesterday. Do you see that? Yes, I do. And what else does she write? She says, I bought the best sexy outfits for later and shoes. So again, just more evidence from the defense, just showing that Cassie was definitely on board with the freak offs, or at least some of them. Let's see. Combs writes, I liked it when Jules was in the room next door. Did you include this in your chart? The prosecutor says no. Okay. This is Cassie talking with one of the sex workers, Jules. She says, Jules texted Cassie and said, great to see you, beautiful. I'm at your door. And here Cassie writes, I'm horny and bored. Here's a message from Jules to Diddy, who said that where he says, I need to rest. You guys are rabbits. Oh my gosh. And in this one, Pop texts Cassie, I love you so much. You consume my life. How did this happen? I'm so horny I can't concentrate, Cassie says. I'm going to Dwayne Reed, pack us a bag. We all know by now when they say pack a bag, it's a freak off bag. And that means drugs, lubricants, certain types of garments to wear. We already know because we know this already. But it was important for the defense to read some of these text messages because the summary chart that the prosecutor, the government, is presenting to the jury, they left out messages like this. So they asked the government person, was this message included in your chart? She said, no, it wasn't. So it was a lot of that today. So there go. Let's go to August. Okay, let's see. When do you want to freak off? What does Miss Ventura reply? She replies, I'm always ready to freak off. So on that note, that's as far as I'm going with today's recap of day 25. We hope tomorrow that we see Brendan, the alleged drug mule, so we can hear something that we have not heard yet during this trial. So again, thank y'all so much for dropping by. Please give a thumbs up to the video. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot on my channel, more than just the Diddy trial. Check it out. I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, so there's some reaction videos there. There's some other things there too about some other things happening, especially Love Island right now. I've started doing some of that with a co-host, so that's been fun. But anyway, let me stop rambling. Let me stop rambling on. I said I was going to get off and I keep talking. But anyway, you guys, I hope you're having a great day. And until the next time, bye.